Wow, guys, last month the crystal ball was on fire. So on the first of every month, I make these prediction videos after the monthly candle closes, and I give my best prediction of what I think the Bitcoin price and the Ethereum price and sometimes some other coins are going to do in the month ahead. Last month on August 1st, I said we were going to $48,000 on Bitcoin, $3,400 in Ethereum, and both those targets were hit. What a prediction. The crystal ball was spot on. So in today's video, we're going to recap what I said last month, and we're going to look at the charts, and I'm going to give you a fresh prediction for what I think could happen in the month of September. And let's hope the crystal ball has a 100% hit rate once again. What's up, guys? Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below, click the notification bell so you do get future updates. And if you never want to miss a future update, get on my email list so I can send you an email every time I upload a video so you can be sure to watch it. That is the first link in the description down below. Sign up for my crypto masterclass. That way you get on my email list and I can notify you of future updates. Also, if you want to become a member of Intelligent Cryptocurrency, the doors are still open. I don't know for how much longer, but if you want to join us, second link in the description down below. So let's recap the Bitcoin prediction that I said on August the 1st. As you can see this video, I will link to it down in the description below or up here if you're watching on YouTube. Let's recap that, and then let's look at the chart so I can make my prediction of what I think will happen in September. I think it is still entirely possible, based on last month's candle, that this month we can see maybe 48,000, which would be a resistance kind of level over here, and then quite potentially in September still be back at over 50,000, maybe even towards 65,000. Alright, so you saw that this was the August the 1st. Bitcoin was at that time trading at almost 42,000. I said we would go to 48,000, maybe even a little bit higher. And that is actually exactly what happened. We went to over $50,000 for Bitcoin. Now, before we go and look at the charts, one thing I like to do every month too is look at the Bitcoin Historical Annual Returns. So what this is, and again, the link to this will be in the description below so you can see it for yourself, is basically the historical performance for Bitcoin since 2013 based on a month, so that we can get an idea of how the Bitcoin price has behaved in the past to help us make some sort of educated guess of what could lie ahead. So the month of August, as you can see, it closed green 13.8%. Now, you can see out of all the times that the Bitcoin price closed in August, there was actually more red than green, right? You can see minus 17, minus 18, minus 7, minus 9, minus 4, but we had these green months. And the interesting thing to note here that you should pay attention to is, yes, there's years here from 2013 to 2021, but the important years are 2013, 2017, and now 2021. The reason for this is because of the 4-year crypto cycle, and these years, 2013 and 2017, were the cycle peak years. So we had the absolute top of Bitcoin in 2013, in November 2013. So that is why we're looking at specifically 2013, 2017 returns, because it's more likely that those years are going to be more in line with 2021 if the 4-year cycle is still in play, which I suspect it still is, right? So we saw green 2013, we saw green in 2017, and now we saw green once again in 2021. Now, you look at the month of September, and you can see this has mostly been red historically. There were only 2 years when the month of September was positive, and even then it was barely positive, single-digit percentage, plus 2%, plus 6%. So historically, September is not the greatest month. In fact, it has a high chance, based on previous performance, that it is going to be a very small kind of month. Very small positive, or maybe small negative. Because the negative months that we had here, they weren't too bad either. You can see minus 2%, 19%, okay, in 2014, but that was the year after that Bitcoin peaked. Minus 7% in 2017. Not the worst, right? It's not great, but it's not the worst. Minus 5% in the year after Bitcoin peaked. Minus 13%, and last year minus 7.5%. Now, one thing that I have noticed personally is that on social media, on Twitter and on YouTube, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about September being a negative month. Now, usually what happens when a lot of people are all kind of in agreement with a position of how something is going to go, usually the opposite tends to happen because everyone is expecting a certain thing. So what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are kind of expecting September to be a negative month, meaning that they've also taken positions based on that. Some of them have reduced leverage, some of them have sold positions to be able to buy back in lower in September. So as a contrarian kind of thing, what could potentially happen because of that, because there seems to be a lot of one-sided opinion on what September is going to be, we might actually see the opposite happen and see September be a big green month where everyone who's expecting it to be red is going to end up being sidelined. We see a big pump in Bitcoin and it just continues going because, keep in mind, we might still have the 4-year cycle peak in play, meaning that we could be seeing a top somewhere in December of this year or January, maybe February, but my bet is somewhere towards December or January. So that means there's potentially 4 to 5 months left of this cycle. If we get a blow off top, it is not impossible that we just get another straight 4 or 5 green months in a row, maybe without another red month. That is a possibility. And I think there's actually maybe a decent chance that this September is going to end up being green. Now, then we have, of course, October, November, December, which if you look at the monthly returns, mostly green, right? And important, once again, 2013 is green, right? We had the cycle peak top of Bitcoin in November 2013. That's why it had a huge pump. December was red because it had already peaked at that point. 2017, green, 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 right? 3 months in a row we had the cycle peak top for Bitcoin in December 2017. So it is not impossible. You can see over here, in 2016 it happened the same, in 2015 it happened the same. 4 green months in a row. I think it is possible that that could happen. And even if it doesn't happen with 4 green months, maybe we just see a small negative month in September like we have in the past, and then continue going green. That is my best guess at this point. So good, let's go look at the chart and let me give you some more insights there. So as I'm making this video, Bitcoin is currently at $46,800. So it has pulled back a little bit from where it reached the top. You can see the high was $50,505 on the Coinbase chart in August. So it smashed that target last month. That was perfectly spot on. You can also see that we've broken up out of this declining trend over here. We've broken through it. Basically, the bottom over here. So we had these 3 kind of pin bars intra-monthly showing that there wasn't really much further downside pressure. It was getting bought up. We had this and we had this pump up here. So this looks bullish to me and this candle looks bullish to me. So again, based on the previous returns, based on the candle and everything like that, I think it is likely that we see a continuation of the trend. Now, just to show you over here, the previous Septembers, right? This was this little September over here, so slightly red. I think it was this one over here. That one was red, and this one over here. So the previous 3 years, again, small red months. But look what happened. Big run up after that, huge run up after that. So again, we might see a small month like this, but I'm actually kind of leaning more towards the fact that September might actually be green and a continuation, like I said, because I feel there's a lot of sentiment betting on that September is going to be red. And usually when there's a lot of that one-sided sentiment, sometimes the opposite occurs. Actually, more often than not, the opposite occurs. So if I were to guess at levels, I think it is possible if we get a big green pump September, I think we could see $55,000 in September. If we get some crazy sort of announcement or anything goes really nuts, I think we could see $60,000 in September. It is not impossible. Downside wise, I would say the first kind of target that we need to stay above would be around the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is currently around 44,000-ish, but I would say the bottom of this candle also. So I would say the first support maybe around $45,000 looking for downside. If we get some sort of sell-off, which is never impossible, of course, I would say the maximum that I'd be looking for this month would be about 41,000, which would be basically the close of this candle over here. I doubt it is going to go that low. Of course, nothing is impossible. I'd be looking for it first to stay above 45,000. If it can do that, well, we're going to see either we're going to get a small monthly candle or not. But I'm leaning towards seeing $55,000 in September, and maybe as much as $60,000. If that happens and we can get a close at $55,000 or higher at the end of this month, at the end of September, then I think October, November, December can take us to new highs and hopefully maybe even 100K plus. So that would be very, very nice. Now let's move over to Ethereum. Let's do a recap of the prediction from last month. Then let's go look at the charts and I will give you my prediction on what I think could happen in the month of September for Ethereum. You can see, if you look at the monthly closes, there have been wicks to the downside 3 times on a monthly basis. Usually these wicks mean there's very strong support, this is accumulation, and it probably won't end up going down below this from here. It is more likely that here this was a big accumulation zone. It tried to sell off, it didn't. A lot of support was shown. These wicks were being bought up. The body monthly candle closes where you can see here over the $2,000 level, and I think it's likely we're going to continue with Ethereum moving higher. So if we do get a nice big pump, I mean, we might be able to see $3,400 on ETH in August. Alright, so that was a spot on prediction, $3,400 for ETH. You can see we are currently at $3,400 for ETH. We had a huge big green monthly candle and that worked out perfectly. So that theory was correct, that this was basically accumulation because of the 3 wicks. We had this consolidation period and we continue the trend over here. So I think Ethereum looks more bullish than Bitcoin actually, and I suspect that trend is going to continue. We can look at the ETH BTC chart in a bit. You can see that is also breaking out. So I do actually expect Ethereum to continue to outperform Bitcoin in this month, and I think it's possible that with Ethereum we can continue this trend and get another big green monthly candle, perhaps even retest the previous high. So if I were to guess, based on these monthly candles and the trends that's happening, I would say that Ethereum could go to 4,000, maybe even the all-time high. So we're at 3,400 now. I think 4,000 could be a good target, but if it overperforms, we might actually see it retest that all-time high of $4,400 in the month of September. That would obviously be a huge green candle to the upside, almost $1,000 candle. I do think it is a possibility. Keep in mind, the EIP 1559 upgrade went live last month. And if you go to watchtheburn.com, since that has happened, there's already been 154,510 ETH that has been burned as a result of this upgrade. That is more than $500 million worth of ETH that has been burnt. On top of that, the NFT space has gone absolutely nuts, absolutely crazy. Most of the NFT space runs on Ethereum. We are seeing celebrities, we are seeing huge names, we're seeing companies, we're seeing Visa get involved in NFTs and buy these crypto punks and other crypto assets. And in order to do that, of course, they need to buy Ethereum to be able to buy the NFTs. So we've got the ETH burn, we've got the NFT stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff happening for ETH that I think is really bullish. Of course, more and more people are also locking up their ETH in the ETH 2.0 staking contract. So that's taking more supply off the market and so on and so forth. So this does look bullish to me. On the downside, I would suspect about 3,200 if we do get a bit of a pullback on the monthly candle. If we do get some sort of sell-off, which of course always is possible, I think unlikely, I would say that would be capped at around 2,900 if we do go that low. I think that's still unlikely. I think still the more likely outcome this month is going to be that we are going to go up, hopefully $4,000 to $4,400. We could also get a little indecision month, but in general for ETH, I think this chart looks bullish and I think we are going to end up going higher. So I'm going to be very curious to review this in a month from now and see what actually happened. Now a real quick look at the ETH BTC chart. This shows the Ethereum performance against Bitcoin. On this chart, when it moves up, it basically means Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin and you'd be better off holding Ethereum than Bitcoin. When it goes down, of course, Bitcoin outperforms Ethereum and you would be better off holding Bitcoin. So what we can see here is that in April and May, we had a big outperformance by ETH over Bitcoin. We had this big pump and then we had this consolidation in the sell-off in May, June, July. Then we had a big pump in August, and you can see, actually if you change this more to a weekly, it looks a little bit better on this triangle. You can see it created this kind of triangle consolidation here, and we're breaking out to the upside. Now, the week hasn't closed yet. I am aware of that, but it is starting to look positive. Like I showed you also on the monthly charts just now, it's looking like ETH wants to go higher, which would make sense that it could continue to outperform. And I suspect there's some sort of similarity between here, what is circled, where we had a pump, a consolidation, and then a continuation of ETH outperformance. We had a pump, a consolidation. Maybe we get a huge outperformance of ETH over Bitcoin, and we go somewhere around these tops, 0.11 to maybe 0.15. I think at some point we will retest these highs again of ETH BTC. So again, that leads me to believe that ETH is going to continue to move higher and outperform Bitcoin. And then finally, what also confirms that that might be the case is if we look at the Bitcoin Dominance Chart, you can see it's a similar thing. It's basically the inverse of what I just showed you with ETH BTC. This created a consolidation also over here, and we broke down. If we continue going down on the BTC Dominance Chart, it means altcoins outperform Bitcoin and take up more of the market share. So if this continues to break down, keep in mind the very lows over here were the very peak of the 2017/early 2018 cycle top, right? This was January 2018 when everything was absolutely nuts for altcoins. Now, if we continue to get lower, that similar thing we can start to see. And ETH is obviously in this category an altcoin because it's not Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin versus everything else. So if ETH ends up outperforming and altcoins end up outperforming, this Bitcoin dominance is going to drop. And like I've said before multiple times over the last months, maybe over the last year even, is that I suspect that this Bitcoin dominance is going to end up going below the 2018 low over here. And I think it's possible it can go into the 30s, but maybe even if we get an extreme blow off top, everything goes nuts, the cycle repeats as it did in 2018, but this time because the market is bigger, there's more altcoins and so on and so forth. If we do get that similar style of blow off top, we might actually see us go below 20% Bitcoin dominance in the next few months. If that were to happen, I would expect it to happen again towards the very end of the cycle. So if something like that happens, we're probably looking at maybe late December, maybe January, maybe even early February. It depends a little bit. We'll have to see how that goes. But if something like that happens and we end up somewhere over here, personally, I'm going to be getting out of all my altcoins because I think at that point it's going to be game over for the cycle. I think we're going to get a bear market after that. We're going to get a huge sell-off, a retrace. And if you're able to get out with nice profits, you're able to remove your initial, take big profits, and realize that for the most part, then if you can sidestep that crash and buy back in 60, 70, 80%, maybe even 90% lower on some of your favorite coins, obviously that's going to be the much better strategy. Nothing is guaranteed. That's not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you my insights. You have to make your own decisions based on all this information and these charts. But basically, this is how I'm seeing it. This is what I think has a decent chance of playing out. And this is what I'm prepared for. If it happens, I'm warning you here and I'm sharing all this with you so that you can also make your plan and that you can also be prepared for it. So what do you think is going to happen for the month of September? What do you think Bitcoin's going to hit? What do you think Ethereum's going to hit? Leave your predictions down below. Let's look back on that in a month from now and actually see if you got close or not, just for fun, of course. Leave that comment down below. And guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel below. You can see I'm giving all this stuff away for free here on the channel. So it's free to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Give me a thumbs up on this video so it goes out to more people. That's the only reason, it helps the algorithm and it shows it to more accounts. And hopefully more people get benefit from the content that I share here. And finally, if you do want to join us inside my program, Intelligent Cryptocurrency, it's education, it's research, it's community, it's support. We got over 1,000 members in there. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of tutorials, trainings, step-by-step videos. Every single month you get a new 30+ page newsletter with my own research and insights, coins that I like, what I'm personally doing. I share a monthly video update every single month also where I analyze the markets and give more TA and stuff like that for members only that I don't share here on the channel or in public. And there's just so much in there. We've got the forums, we've got the Discord chat groups, you get access to me. So it is really the best place to be if you want to continue learning about crypto. If you enjoy the content that I share, go and sign up. It's the second link in the description down below. Completely risk-free for 60 days. If you join, you can get access to everything instantly. If you're not happy within 60 days, let me know. You can get your money back. But I will not keep the doors open forever. As the market continues to move higher, at some point over the coming weeks, I'm probably going to close these doors again, and probably for a very long time, because I do expect that the bear market is going to hit us next year, and in that bear market it's going to be much harder for me to be able to help you. So the best time to get involved still is now. There is still a window of opportunity. You want to join us, second link in the description down below. Hopefully I'll see you inside, but if not, smash the like button and I will see you in the next video. Peace.